And we're live. Hello, everyone, to my regular Tuesday chat. Today we have two guests for now. Maybe some more will join as we go along. We have Rin Michaelis and Real Raven 2000. How are you both?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
I'm fine. For my any new guests and new viewers, Rin, could you sort of a small biography, just something simple, just so people know who you are?
All right, I am Rin Michaelis. I do interviews, but I haven't been able to interview anybody new lately. So I discuss articles, my channel, news, what's going on in the world.
And we also have a regular guest who's been a long time and is always welcome, Real Raven 2000. How say something, Real Raven?
Something. I'm Real Raven. I'm a musician and
Yes.
also a software developer, and I'm jobless as of last Friday. So I have a bit more time for YouTube, so that's a good thing. And also I don't have to be afraid
Yeah.
of being doxed and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm doing music. I'm a piano player actually, and a music producer and also arranger. And I'm doing a lot of parodies with Felfop, and also some music for YouTubers like Crowd and T.
That's awesome. Okay, today the topic is basically, I'll paraphrase my own topic that I put up on for this channel is segregation making a comeback. I got the idea because I saw a video from Andy Warski. I also invited him to this chat. I would love for him to appear if he can. I've sent him the invite, and it's basically the Cal State University of Los Angeles has offered segregated housing to black students. I'll put this up so everyone can see. Let's see, where is it? It's this one. I think everyone can see this. Just check with the. I can't check. Shit. I only have. I lost my laptop, so I can't check if the.
I think there's some. There's some. Oh yeah, it's coming up, so it's fine.
There's always a bit of delay.
They can see it.
Yes, that's it. So this article, I saw this some time ago. Basically, when it was first came out. Basically, the California State University Los Angeles campus has rolled out segregated housing for black students. This article basically, because I don't want to get a copyright strike, you know how it works. Basically, the Black Student Union demands. They made a set of demands to the dean or whatever of the university, and they responded by saying yes, due to supposedly frequent racist attacks, racial insecurity remarks, microaggressions by professors and students. They wanted a safe space. I have here also, which I'll just go to the African Black Coalition Student Union of Black Students from the Cal State of that university, and some of the demands are, I was reading this before, some of the demands are fucking awesome. They demand $20,000 per quarter allocated to the Black Student Union. Ooh, goddamn, that's a nice bit of money. And they demand $30 million endowment to support black students financially. Yeah, that would be fucking awesome. Some other things that they also. I'm just going over the monetary demands that they want.
I wonder whether that would be something that would be similar to other kind of students' unions. Would that be like ballpark figures? 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand a year, whatever, or semester?
I don't know. I don't. I'm just reading what they demanded because I have no idea. Rin, you were a do you have any better information than me about anything that's happening there in the United States?
Excuse me?
About the demands that these people have this group has been making, at least
Oh
to
yeah, I've seen these demands on Sargon's channel once before, and they're just greedy. I mean, Black Lives Matter, feminism, they're just greedy supremacists, and I do wonder if this is like what white people gone through in the 1920s.
Yeah, I really don't know because historically, I'll just do a small historical. I'll get out of this sharing because you know it can happen. They can always fair use is not very good in YouTube. So just a little the history that I know. I of course studied in Australia. Portuguese, everyone knows that. So I know let's see, an impersonal points of view of history. I'm am an archaeologist, so again, this is pure objective what I learned. Um, After the American Civil War, which Lincoln granted ended slavery to appease the southern states that they were utterly defeated. To appease them, they sort of introduced a form of separating the states. There was, I don't think they were informal practices. I don't think they were put into actual law until the Jim Crow era. I'm not very familiar with Jim Crow. I admit it because history is not my forte, and I know that the Jim Crow laws did usher in segregation to the fullest extent, where the American blacks could not, if they were on a public public transport, they'd have to go to the back of the bus. They could not share fountains. They could not go into restaurants. They had their own restaurants. They had their own theaters, etc., etc. It was total segregation, separation of the peoples. This is very similar to South Africa with the apartheid regime, which, if my memory serves me correct, Jim Crow laws and apartheid sort of came about more or less in the same time. I may be mistaken. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm always learning, as everyone should know. And we got this separation until the civil rights movement of the 60s, where they dismantled the total, in America at least, the total the segregation laws.
Who was it actually? Jim Crow is always. Who was it actually? Who was Jim?
I think he was a either he was a senator, he was a governor of a state, but I can always just Google it. It won't take me too long. I should have done my research earlier.
Maybe Ren knows.
But
When it comes
I like to. Oh, sorry, go Rin, go.
when it comes to
Please.
Jim Crow, I think he had a law saying that if you're black and your grandfather didn't vote, then you can't vote. Oh, and black people had to pass some sort of weird literacy test, and the Amazing Atheist did the literacy test live, and it was like really weird because it asked really weird questions.
I have here the yes, it was exactly that. That to vote, they did have to pass so many hurdles, which it was amazing. Anyway, the Jim Crow laws originated in the Reconstruction period after the American Civil War, as I thought it was. It was a mandate de jure. That means that it wasn't actually a state laws. and the local laws were enforcing the segregation. There was nothing. I don't think there was. Didn't say anything in Wikipedia if they were in if they were actually written down. No. Jim Crow laws sometimes, as in Florida. I'll share this so everyone can.
Well, I've just at the Jim Crow Museum, just some signposts from there. Isn't it lovely? No dogs, Negroes, or Mexicans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here we go. For the outside viewers, they mandated segregations in public school, public places, public transport, and the segregation of restrooms, restaurants, and drinking fountains for white and blacks. The U.S. military also segregated, as were federal workplaces, initiated in 1913 under Woodrow Wilson. He wasn't a very good president then.
Mm-hmm.
They and basically until the 1965, when they in the civil rights movement ended those laws. The North did here. It says that they did generally de facto segregate. They didn't. In housing segregation enforced by private covenants, bank lending practices, job discriminations, etc. Even labor union practices. So we know, yes, we know that that up until the civil rights movement. I'll just put yours up as well.
Let me read some rules of etiquette. Exactly. Interesting. So there's a couple. There's just 8 of them. A black male. That's interesting. A male could not offer his hand to shake hands with a white male because it implied being socially equal. They probably had a progressive stack or something. Obviously, a black male could not offer his hand or any other part of his body, all right, his arse, to a white woman because he risked being accused of rape. Well, he couldn't even look at her, I suppose. So we have similar laws now in UK. I think this.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Laws, right?
They couldn't offer the hand to a white woman because it would risk what being raped.
Yeah, it's unwanted touching. We have this law now in UK. I think it's unwanted touching, talking to or looking at. Anyway, blacks and whites were not supposed to eat together. So there's your segregation. If they did eat together, whites were to be served first, and some sort of partition was to be placed between them. Oh yeah, whites first. So that's an interesting one because isn't there this one where in certain progressive meetings it's said that the minorities have to talk first, or whoever's supposed to be minorities. I mean, they say the women, for instance, although they're 51%, and then maybe blacks or POCs or whatever, because they are the minority there. So, it's just a hierarchy, right?
Yeah, it's just a hierarchy. I can see where the SJWs got their
their inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Under no circumstance was a black male to offer to light the cigarette of a white female. That gesture implied intimacy. Yeah. Okay. Intimacy. Yeah, that would also violate the progressive stack because it would, not show the implied amount of power that you have when you're whatever.
You were gonna say something, Rin?
I just think that's it's kind of weird that's how history is repeating itself. No, because their excuse is historical oppression. Is kind of like, well, because blacks have been oppressed historically, it justifies treating white people like this now. And of course, it's going to backfire, and it's currently backfiring because, well, at least according to Reaper, he said to me that the KKK has seen a rise in membership.
This year?
Yes, within a year, Reaper told me that the KKK has seen a rise in recruitments, and I thought that was really interesting. Even Sargon Vakad was saying when he was reading that article about it was a New York Post article, I think. It was talking about elite schools, K through 8, white kids are learning how horrible and terrible and awful they are for being white, and black people and other non-white kids are discussing their ouch moments. And then, the black kids would come back to the classroom with cupcakes and brownies, and
Yeah,
the white kids would go home crying, and
yeah,
it's only causing resentment. It just makes the kids resent the
yeah.
black kids. So it's backfiring, and it's kind of like it's why the alt-right is becoming more and more popular. And I'm pretty sure that I think it's divided between genuine racists and people who are not racist at all, but it's just poking fun at political correctness by saying whatever they want to get attention. So, but I don't think that they're all racist. Of course not. But
I,
still it's backfiring because people are getting tired. People are getting tired, and it just kind of kills Black Lives Matters position, because it's kind of like, well, you're clearly not any better because you show that if you could, you would do the exact same thing that they did in a heartbeat. If you could, you would clearly do the exact same thing that whites did in the 1930s. So it's kind of gives white people no reason to feel guilty about the past. Their sense of when it comes to Black Lives Matter, their sense of moral superiority is gone now.
mm.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes.
I find it
Um,
interesting that to imagine the type of school administrator who kind of planned this and whether they wanted to have that permanent, or was it just kind of to inflict that experience on the white pupils once and say, now you experience that what black people experienced like 50 or 30 years ago or whatever. Was it just like a learning experience, a one-off? And or and what exactly did they want to achieve? And also um, to do it that way rather than just telling them about it. Because, was the thinking that, oh, if we tell them about it, they can probably not really experience it correctly. They don't really know, because as we know, white people aren't really able to empathize. They don't really have feelings. That could be one. You can't actually just experience it by telling about. You have to actually experience it now. And for a long, long time, you have to learn it with your own.
I highly doubt that that's the case, because it's going on for far too long, and black kids are coming out of it genuinely racist. Think about all the cop
Oh yeah,
killings.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they achieved. But I just wonder what they were thinking. You know, why? What were their thoughts when they implemented this? Were they
well,
genuinely thinking that white people deserve that treatment, or is it kind of a teaching? Oh yeah, well, the blacks have been so long oppressed, and now we have to show it to the white kids. Just to show them.
well, coming back to the article that we started reading, the racial issues from the College Fix, the motivation. I'll share it again. Here we go. Share so everyone can see. But here it says, it was after 9 months that they issued they wanted to provide cheaper alternative housing solution to black students. This space would serve as a safe space for black students to congregate, connect, and learn from each other. The demand said, right? They established, now the Cal State established the Halisi Scholars Black Living Learning Community, which focused on academic excellence, learning experience, and an all inclusive, non-discriminatory. This is very ironic. It's black only, and it's inclusive and non-discriminatory. Right.
So
Very.
weird.
Um, So they offered 192 furnished apartments for residential complex of the campus for this community, and he declined to answer anything. Basically, shit. It is segregation. Yes. The New York Times says no, it's not creating segregated housing. Their excuse is, well, this guy anyway, his name is Mike McFate. He's as fucking white as I am. So yeah, he's an apologist as anything. He basically goes on to say, where's the most relevant? He basically says that, I think it's down here. Where is it? Because there's such a minority of the black students in the LA campuses, he says there are the campus serves 28,000 students, roughly 4% of them are African American. And so if they create a dorm space for 24 students oriented around the black community, that would be just what? I have no idea what's the thinking of this. It's such a tiny minority. Do they fucking want to segregate them? That's just making them even more...
It's like a little ghetto. Like creating little...
Yeah, it is. It's ghettoifying them.
Strange.
Don't they see this? It amazes me that they say it's inclusive and non-discriminatory, yet they put the 4% of African American students to the side and say, fuck off.
Yeah.
And Times is basically saying...
Do they say that choice? You know, do they have a choice to not go there and say, no, I don't want to go
I don't know. No. Well, the articles that I've read, no. But I'm sure someone would say, no, fuck off. I'm not going to live in those cunts. I want to go to the normal center. I'm not being discriminated. But anyway.
You know, they might end up with like half empty dorm rooms because, oh no, I don't need this. I'm not a weak person. You know, I just want to be with the normal people. I don't need this.
I would absolutely love to see that. Yes.
And I would also love to debate somebody from the other side who thinks that it's necessary. You know.
Yeah.
You should invite somebody from
basically
the other camp.
I would love it. Yeah, but shit.
The thought is,
I'm toxic, man. I'm really toxic. In my Twitter, you know that I'm toxic. I don't tolerate shit, and I just go for the kill. I don't half-heartedly. But basically, the New York Times saying that many Californian campuses already offer that. UC Davis, UC Berkeley, Stanford, and 2 other Cal State campuses, and that they're trying to do that in Princeton, Iowa, and Connecticut. That's not an excuse.
They're already implementing segregated schools.
Yeah, that's what the New York Times is saying here in this article, that many Californian campuses are already doing that. Well, the dormitories. This is not. This is one form of.
They use the term there, safe spaces, right? And I think Ren, you said it as well.
Yes, here in the one up here, it's to make safe spaces. You can, if anyone can see my.
Lynched in universities.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
safe spaces.
When it comes to safe spaces, it's still segregation because I mean, if you see Black Lives Matter, they're bossy, they're demanding. I mean, that's not the type of person who needs to feel safe. If you really needed to feel safe, you wouldn't be bossy, you wouldn't be demanding, you wouldn't be yelling and screaming, and you wouldn't act all superior to people. I mean, it's kind of like that black chick who was yelling at her white professor, like, this is a home, and it's saying, who the fuck hired you, when she was part of...
the most interesting time situation, that if you have 1 or 2 black chicks like that in a group of completely white people, they won't be attacked because everybody will think, oh no, I can't attack her because that's like racist. That would be racist, and it's so obvious that she's in the minority. So as a black student, I would probably I would probably prefer to be surrounded by white students because the cops wouldn't really shoot at you then. They would think, oh no, that's just the one black person in the white crowd. That would be so racist of me to shoot at this person. Whereas if you're in a group of blacks, wouldn't it be much more dangerous, right? If there was this discrimination.
Absolutely, yeah.
Isn't it amazing that segregation is coming on vogue again, and just by them creating a new term for it and calling it safe space, and suddenly, oh, it's fine, it's safe space. We have a new word for it.
Yeah, but a part of me wonders if it's Machiavellian. Like, I wonder if there will become a time where white people get sick and tired of how bossy, rude, and nasty Black Lives Matter is. And while they're asking for segregation and demanding it, if they would start giving Black people terrible, horrible books and material and starts giving whites all the good for and go, well, you made your bed and I'll lie on it. This is what you've asked for. And all we did was just give it to you. We're just giving you the worst of everything instead of the best of everything. And it may take a while for Black Lives Matter to catch on, because when something's already segregated, it would be impossible to know if they're giving white people better material and giving you the shits.
Yeah, they don't realize that if you segregate, someone has to get the raw end of the stick. But coming back to the article of the demands, that's interesting because they seem to try to they seem to want to try. I think everyone can see that they seem to want to try to get as much financing as possible. I'll start off with them. Firstly, they demand $20,000 per quarter to the Black student unions. Then they demand $30 million endowment program. That's what on top of affirmative action I'd expect. $30 million endowment to help the Black students financially. Okay. Then they demand more money. Where is it? They demand the Pan-African Study Group, $100,000 for the academic year, plus another $400,000 in outreach programs. That's the financial aspect of their demands. Shit. Imagine the Asians asking for. I won't even go to the whites because forget it. But imagine the Asians asking for that as well. Those particular demands. What would happen?
You mean the same demand?
I'm not saying the Asians. I don't know. I think they wouldn't, because the Asians. Well, they are a minority, but damn, they are successful.
Yeah, the Asians, even though they're a minority in the USA, they make more money than white people.
How do I do this? I want to get someone in here. Just a sec.
If you want, I could
No, you're fine. You're fine. If you can keep talking if you want.
No, I was thinking I could invite people in. I mean, like, I have friends that might want to come on if they're available. I mean,
we want to keep it as minimum as possible, because, or else, as we said, we could get this way it's more personal, more more friendly than that. So I want to see if I can.
Yeah, because I was thinking that I could probably get like 2 extra people on, or maybe like 1 extra person on.
I'm trying to invite another one, the Gogzy.
Yeah, I was trying to get him on. Oh, that's you. All right. He gave me a wrong handle. I'm just trying to get him on Skype.
Oh, there he is. If you can get him as fast before me.
I don't know. I'm just searching Skype now. I have him. I'll add him now. I'll add him.
What did you say? Krauts and Teas coming on?
No, I invited him, but I think he's too busy. He's
busy.
doing stuff.
How's moving?
I invited two huge guys, but well, no, I had my luck last time. I'm not pushing it.
Yeah, it would be cool if Krauts and Teas could come on. I mean, he's interesting.
He is, yes. He is very good in history.
He knows his history. I mean, it's really fun listening to him. He's very eloquent and well spoken.
Yeah, I got Gogs. I got him. I just sent him the link. 1 sec.
One way. I already sent him the link, so yeah. I think I was quicker.
No, I'll send him the link. I'll be first. No, it's okay.
No, it's cool. It's cool. We're not in a race.
No, I know. Double. No, we are in a race, but it's a social construct. The white race. No, we're Celtic.
No. I reject the concept of human races, and I'm working on a.
On a technicality, there's only one race, the human race.
I thought it's the red race.
Yes, but I've already done a video. I'm not gonna do another one, but I'm gonna tweak my next one to sort of cover it lightly. But I'm working on another video, which will come on soon. And Gogzy's on. How are you, mate?
Hello. Well, because humans, we fall under Homo sapiens sapiens, and every human being is Homo sapiens sapiens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. Yes. My video basically shows that there is the difference. There is more. I'll sort of summarize. There is more difference between a group of people, an ethnic group, genetically, than there is between the whole of Homo sapiens sapiens. The variation that we get, they could say, oh, but there's some people are lactose intolerant, sickle cell anemia, this and that. No, maladies are not genetic, makes you genetically different. You're still under the variation, the normal curve variations of our species. So that's what I say. I like the term. I use the term ethnicity. Yes, that covers the spectrum of all humans.
Yeah, aren't there differences between us called climes?
Yes, exactly. The cline is that I'll take the skin color. There is a cline from the equator in every continent you go. From the equator to the north or south pole, the further you go from the equator, the lighter your skin. And it's so gradual, you could almost see it if you look enough of it. If you get the samples, enough of the samples, it's there. So there is no such thing as race. No, I refuse to use it, and I hope to educate people to stop using it. We are ethnic. We are divided into ethnicities.
And like our physical differences, those are called phenotypes. Like what we see in the outside, those are like phenotypes. Is that what you call them in your field?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. But they are not enough to make us a subspecies.
Yeah, nobody is a subspecies because everybody is Homo sapiens sapiens. The physical differences are phenotypes, and the little variations like lactose intolerance, I think they're called climes.
Is the whole phenotype thing, is that not to do with like the evolution of where each person evolved as well, and the climate of people, where people evolved, and like the darker skin was because it was hotter, and things like that?
Yeah, it is. Yes, exactly.
Is it not an evolutionary thing?
It is because the more sun exposure you get more propensity to get cancer, etc. So you have a darker skin. The closer to the poles you need to produce more vitamin D, and if you have the darker skin, you don't produce it, and you get vitamin D deficiency. It's there. It's in the American Anthropological Societies. I have in my video. I have all the
joined.
yeah. Hello, Moka. Get Mama in as well. I'm trying to find a. You might be faster than me. See if I can base Mama. I'd like to have her in, and that would be about it, unless some big guys join.
Yeah, it would be so cool if Sark and Makad or Crouch and C were to come on.
And then you kick
I also invited Dave. I'd kick all of you, and me and just them. No, I wouldn't. I'm not that kind of guy. Jesus,
Yes,
I'm
you are. Don't even lie.
no,
You are.
no.
I know you.
I don't kick anyone out. Oh, this is just. I
hello,
hope I don't show my
everyone.
face.
Hello, Mocha.
How are you? I hope
Let's
you're
see,
all
here.
having pleasant evenings.
Yes, I'm having a very pleasant evening. I hope you're having a pleasant evening as well, Mocha.
This is to trigger people.
It's a lovely shirt, though. I like it.
Yeah, it is. It's ironic anyway, but it's ironic. This shirt is ironic in my case. But anyway,
I just need to ask you a question that has no importance upon anything.
Yes.
Cherry dynamite or black cherry?
What?
Black cherry?
Please choose between cherry dynamite and black cherry.
Black cherry.
What
All
is
right,
it?
thank you.
I don't know.
I got a cigar, so I was trying to figure out which one I should use.
Black cherry. Ah.
All right.
You
Ooh,
can
it
only
smells
get
amazing.
cigar when you've won the debate, Mocha. Don't you know?
Huh?
You can only have the winning cigar when you have won the debate.
No. I choose to have this delicious thing now. So,
Yes, it's important not to oppress her with your mansplaining.
That's okay. I have beer. It's not as good as a black
I
cherry.
have a Portuguese beer. It's letter B. It's a Pilsner. Made about 70 kilometers. The brewery is 70 kilometers from my house, and it's fucking nice.
I'm drinking a nice glass of cold iron brew.
Nice. Shit. Where is he? Where do I have base mama?
So,
oh, God.
Do we have anybody who has first-hand experience in segregation, being segregated, or having been segregated?
depends.
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 Oh, I'm an idiot. Continue.
Where I used to go to school at, it was a college. It was like right up the road. Like literally, like if you were walking down, like or gone to a certain place, they would literally almost force you out of those classrooms, and it would be the students themselves. So I don't know what I don't know if that would count, but whatever.
They'd force you out.
Yeah, with threats of violence, blah 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 blah. You know, you're just a white girl. You don't deserve a man here.
Really?
Like that.
But then you were the
I didn't let
minority.
that bother me because I was transferring in like a week anyways.
Yeah, okay. And you had an excuse not to go to school, but were you the minority in that case, were you?
Yes. There was only, in the entire college, there was only like 20 white students. And they hated our guts.
Yeah.
Just for our skin color, but whatever. I don't care.
Which state?
Tennessee.
All right.
Tennessee, you're right above me.
I think the only real experience that I've really had in Scotland is sort of segregation would be it's more a religious segregation than a racial one. There's a pretty big Catholic and Protestant divide in Scotland, and there are quite a lot of Catholic schools where you're only really allowed to go there or teach there if you're a Catholic. I think it's becoming a little bit more secular now, but for a long time it was really only Catholics that went to one school and the Protestants went to another school. So that's the only real segregation we've ever had.
Your icon also looks very much like a typical Catholic.
Though religious segregation makes more sense than racial segregation.
Does it?
I didn't see it that way. I mean, all I seen was that
Oh,
5 of
hold
the
on a
friends
second.
that
I
I
am
had in
so
my
sorry,
time went
guys.
to a different school and I wasn't allowed to go with them.
No, what I mean is like racial segregation is the dumbest thing there is because again we're all Homo sapiens sapiens. There's not much difference between us, you know. I mean the differences between us are just climes. Whereas when it comes to religious segregation, I mean it's like um, a Pentecostal church is so dramatically different than an Episcopalian church. Like a Pentecostal church is excessively negative and it's very cult-like, whereas an Episcopalian church is a lot more positive, it's a lot more uplifting, and it's a bit more secular. I mean, the Episcopal Church is the most secular-like church I've been to. I mean, they still talk about Jesus and God, but not all that much. They mostly just talk about their day. Like, oh, let me tell you about the time I went to the gym. Oh, let me tell you about this guy I knew. Or let me tell you about this guy who lives next door to me. Is, you know, he would just, the preacher just talks about his day and repeats a few lines from a book, and then everybody drinks wine and church is over.
So that's cultural. So I mean,
In the church I went to before I exited the church scene, I went to a Catholic church, and I realized you can't get away from it. As soon as people find out that you have Catholic roots, the first thing they like see you in a whole different light. They'll be like, "Yeah, but you were raised Catholic," and I have no idea what that means. I seriously don't.
People really say that you were raised Catholic? Really?
yeah.
You mean other Catholics, do you?
Well,
No,
I
no,
was
it would other religions. Like anytime I would say like if they were misquoting something out of their Bibles, because I've read a good portion. I've read the Catholic Bible, the Baptist Bible, and stuff like that. I try to be well versed in anything I talk about, like you should be. And they might misquote something, and then I'll try to fix their quote for them, and then give them the section and all that, and they're like, "You just don't understand. You were raised in, the Catholic Church," and I'm like, "What the fuck does that mean?" So.
It's
Maybe
still
because there's some variation in interpretation. Maybe in the Pentecostal church they interpret verses differently because I mean I have watched TV pastors and whatnot, and it would be the exact same verse in scripture, but it would be interpreted differently depending on the person who's talking about it.
Yeah, but in that fact, I'm not going by interpretations. I'm just going by what it says. And let's say like one person misquoted what it says, and not paraphrasing. They like put the quote marks and all that. And they say like quote something, or it says here. I'll just say no, that's not what it says, and that's pretty much. And then they're like, you just don't understand. You were raised in a Catholic church, so apparently, don't be correct with what you're saying. I guess. I don't know.
Bring it back to the topic. I think the Catholic churches, I don't know if that's still the case, but like certainly in Ireland and also in the more deeper parts of Bavaria, there was a segregation of males and females in Catholic churches, as in, the left-hand side and the right-hand side pews, male versus female. So that's an interesting one. But generally, I mean, segregation, isn't it always a cultural concept? You keep your cultures apart to keep them, I don't know, either for protection reason or for keeping them pure. So in its deepest root, isn't it a form of tribalism? It's like that's that tribe and that's that tribe, and you can't mix the both because
When it
they're not
comes to
compatible.
type of segregations in the church, I was invited to a Mormon church before, and then at the end of the Mormon church, they divided to males and females. It was the strangest thing ever. Like, oh, all the men is going to go to this room, all the women go to this room. And it's like, it was really weird and strange. Just like, why can't sort of men and women just be together? It was so strange that I never went back. It's like, it's weird. Like, let the men and women be together.
The Catholics do it as well, though. What I said, not different rooms, but different sides of the, the pews, right hand side, left hand side. In the Catholic churches, they used to do that as well.
I've never been to a Catholic church then, because I would just be weirded out the whole entire time. Like, why can't we men and women mix together? It's like, it's confusing. It doesn't really make any sense, Like, look, if your woman had to sit over here, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we're just going to be sitting around listening to some guy preach all day, so we men and women may as well just be mixed together.
Yep. Hi, Andy.
Hey, Andy, baby. How are you? Are you feeling any better?
No, I actually just came back from the doctor, and apparently I didn't have the flu. I have a throat infection, a respiratory throat infection.
Oh.
Get better, man.
Those are easy to get rid of. Just take a little bit of antibiotics.
Yeah, I got all my drugs with me now, so...
Watch out, you will get high off those antibiotics, because the reaction you're going to get, you're going to feel great. You might start seeing your words.
Don't mix it.
No, I'm actually saying, because I've had this before, and the medicine they give you trips you out because of the reaction with the bacteria in your throat. So, like with me, I could taste colors and see words. It was cool.
Damn, that's actually exciting. I'm actually pumped.
Pumped to get better.
Anyway,
all my haters were so happy and messaging me that they're happy I'm sick.
Well, you know what? You should be happy you're sick too. Now you can, taste colors and see words.
That takes hate to a whole new level when you're messaging somebody saying, "I'm glad you're sick."
You deserve it. You deserve worse. Well, they want me to die, so sick is like one step closer, I guess, to death. So.
Well, at least you're not Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say that.
Great.
Okay, let's get back on topic. Just to speak to Andy, I don't know if you listened. We were talking about the segregation of Cal State University, the housing center.
I talked about that on my channel too.
Yeah, you did. That's where I got the inspiration for it.
But incredibly fucked, isn't it?
Man, it's fucking.
Well, and people are saying, "Oh yeah, well, they also allow white students. Like it's not in. You read the fine print, but what white student will want to join that housing, knowing that they're there to stay away from white people? You know what I mean? That's like
yes.
I don't know, man. It might sound a little bit like heaven sometimes. But whitey.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't say you haven't thought one time, fuck whitey. Come on. Admit it, Andy.
Yeah, fuck whites, honestly. Being white makes me sick, actually. I look in the mirror and I just shake my head.
The second part of the second part of my stream is that it's not confined to America. Guess where it's slightly different from America. Guess where another part where they're pushing to segregate is happening.
Where's that?
It's called a little country in northern Europe called Denmark.
Really?
Yes.
What are they doing there?
I'll put up the screen.
No, it's Amsterdam. My bad.
Put up the screen so everyone can see. It's here. Danish schools separate children by ethnicity in a bid to avoid multicultural classes.
Wow. Just every race.
Yes.
Well, wouldn't they be trying to segregate the Muslims from the non-Muslims?
No. This is opposite of that. This is from the Independent. I'll take this article. I've got another one because I don't take one article by its by its face value. I have another one from the Humanity in Action organization, which shows
So that
here.
they don't have to learn other faiths or other things. I mean, is that so that they can have a complete echo chamber?
No, this is different.
Right, sorry.
Here, I have 2 articles to back them up, but we'll go to the easier to read independent.
Hey,
Integration by separation. It says.
Exactly.
May
You'd think
I
that.
ask something real quick? I am so sorry. Are you from north or south?
Who, me?
No, Mr. Gogzy. North or
Gogzy?
south?
I'm
Got it.
from the east coast of Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love
Because
his
I was trying to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Anyway.
I do apologize. I love his accent, so I.
I love the Scottish accent, but we'll get to that afterwards. After we cover this, they're not trying to separate the immigrants or etc. No, they're separating the actual natives or second generation immigrants that don't want to be in the multicultural bit. Like, let's see, where most other schools are focused on assimilating migrant children, I'll highlight this. One Danish school in the city of Arns has decided to separate them. The idea draws criticism from human rights advocates who question the legality of separating children based on their ethnicities. But, this is the but. The Danish school's approach, however, is different because it is not originally designed to integrate migrants children better. Instead, it allows children to avoid the multicultural class. That just blew my mind. Pow!
Wow. Is this a university, by the way?
No. They're children. They're primary school.
This is kids. Oh, you're teaching racism or segregation early. This is going to be really like these kids now are going to move on in life and not know how to deal with other races.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that the multicultural shit that they're pushing for, the SJW bullshit, is basically giving the ones that don't want that bullshit SJW crap, they're pushing them down. This is to make them shit. Let's see if the article says, because I'm basically reading what is here.
So it's only natives too. So native people from there. So that school isn't allowing migrants or immigrants at all.
No, I think is it not more that school's only going to be really teaching like traditional Danish culture?
Probably yes. I think that's it.
Rather than if you, like, it's more an alt-right school, if you will, where you've got your own culture and this is how it should be. This is how you want to teach it. You take nothing to do with all the whole multicultural thing.
Yeah, the case in Hana, it says here, the case in Hana school is isolated. That 25% of the school pupils were either migrants or of children of migrants in 2007. Now it's gone to 80%. So now they're basically isolating the native.
But here's a question: who wanted to avoid the multinational or the multicultural classes? Was it was it the other cultures that didn't want to necessarily hear about lots of different kind of like practices of who can marry whom, and what kind of laws are there and what's legal and what's illegal,
in this article, Humanity in Action, I think it's a bit better because he wants integration through segregation in Danish metropolitan high schools. It's a bit of a long-winded article. Basically, goals for Danish integration policy. It's big. I will link these articles in my description so everyone can read them afterwards, because it's basically saying to the kids that don't want to listen, or the parents that maybe some parents complained. I said, we don't want to listen to this multicultural SJW bullshit. I want real education. I don't want my kids to say that to learn that they can they are being they have privileges over their classmates. That's what I got Yeah, that's what I got from the
You read
articles.
what it says there on the status quo about white flight. Never heard of that term. What is it?
White flight basically means that the natives are fleeing areas, basically.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's highlight this and read it. White flight, as used in the context of education, is the demographic tendency in which ethnically Danish parents remove their children from public school in order to avoid the increasing presence of non-whites. This trend often sets off race to the bottom, where resourceful children mass departure has devastating impacts on the general academic and economic progress of the school. Two schools from the city of Aarhus, the second largest city in Denmark, are now facing a possibility of closing come November. That's another reason why they are doing that, because the natives are economically more powerful than the migrants. So
You don't
if
want
they
to
stop,
finance that shit for the others.
exactly. Exactly. The large population of bilingual residents and ones mentioned above, the trend is so severe that municipalities are forced to get involved, as we shall see. They are basically saying with their pay packet, stop all this bullshit.
Well,
Or they
that's
pay.
interesting. I mean, that's still, you can still interpret that white flight in two lights, right? You can say, yeah, it's because they're racist motherfuckers, and they think bad of other races, and that's why they flee. And it could also be, oh no, it's because they're afraid, or there's more violence or whatever. Maybe they're being kind of bullied or something. So you
Or
can
maybe their
interpret
culture's
it.
dying, or they feel like their culture's dying. Blah 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 blah.
Well,
blah.
is it something that you would, your culture's dying? I mean, that you would consciously say, "Oh, my culture is now dying." Is it not more something like as, okay, I can't sit out on the park bench anymore and have a beer because somebody's giving me attitude because it says that it's not good to have beer out in the open, or it's not good to have beer at all, or eat meat or whatever.
Or it could be because people from the Middle East well, not them themselves but their descendants, because I take it that uh they're the children of migrants, that's maybe it's kind of like they're pushing their culture into the Danish culture. Like instead of they assimilating, it could be that they're trying to shove like, well, women should be in the back, or it's kind
Yeah,
of like, yeah, like women should be in the
don't
back,
dress like that.
or
This
yeah.
what I've just highlighted is a little bit indicative of what they're going. The official policy of integration: children of non-Western backgrounds in Copenhagen are on average almost an entire grade level below the children of Western origins when it comes to academic progress. Another teacher's interview said that they had experienced white flight as a result of open intolerance, etc. Ethnic Danish students are generally perceived as having better prior knowledge and family support in comparison to the etc. But there is something here. There is one school the two schools I mentioned, one of them has an absolutely no ethnic Danish children in it, and it's one of the schools that's going to close.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's
So of
interesting.
course, I mean, if you're in fifth grade and you have a teacher who still has to, teach the alphabet to somebody or to a lot of, then that's probably not very good. So I can understand.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I could kind of understand why they would segregate, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't agree with it personally. This is me.
Oh, neither do I. No, no, no,
I
no.
think everyone should, there is no reason to just force somebody else out of a school. That's like if, like I was talking about my situation. They're pretty much trying to force me out of the classroom with threats of violence. I don't think they're doing threats of violence here, but still, I don't like it. Not one
It's
bit.
not forcing. It's flight. It's voluntary. They go. Oh, all right. The standard is lowered, so I'm going to put my child on another school because they're not learning anything there anymore because.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it shouldn't
I did.
just be for one. Like, what if someone else from another race is like, hey, I want my kid to have the best education they can. Like, they're probably paying for it. It's almost like a academy. Why can't someone else, like, someone say like, hey, I want my kid to have the best they can do too, so why can't my kid go to this academy?
I
That's
think
fine,
that
but
the
if
problem
the
is
level is
also, I think that the problem is also social justice. Like, you have these other cultures shaming white people, making white people feeling bad or feeling guilty for no other reason than being white. It's kind of like, well, I'm Muslim, and so it's kind of like, I want to do this, I want to do that. So they're being bossy and demanding instead of assimilating. Everything would be easier. People are willing to assimilate to their new culture. I mean, why leave wherever they came from in the Middle East anyway if they are just going to push their culture into their new country?
Are you white-splaining? I think she's white-splaining everyone.
she's white lady. The language barrier is probably another problem. I mean, again, I
They're
mean,
children. If they're children, a language is easily taught to children.
I guess.
Okay, let's say instead of doing all this, have separate classes for
Mhm.
people who have trouble, including Danish kids themselves who have trouble with the actual language. And then say, all right, we're going to put you here. It's not a special ed class. It's just a helper class,
Yeah,
which
that makes
we
sense.
call them over here.
But
And
that
we'll, and
By age.
they can teach them the language. Like, I bet even some of the Danish children can't speak Danish, maybe not up to the grade that they want. Why not do it like that?
Yeah, or IQ segregation. Have like a master class and just
No.
do that.
This isn't a master class. This is a side class. Nothing to do with a master class. If a child is having trouble, what is the teacher supposed to do? They help. Not
Yeah.
try to force them into, like,
But
okay,
it
you're
just
all of
works.
this race, you go over here. You're all of this race, you go over here. This is
No,
for
no. You
children
could
of all
address it.
races and everything.
Yeah,
For
no. It
them to
shouldn't
be able
be
to do it.
based on race. Of course, it should be
one at a
based
time, people.
on
One at
ability.
a time.
Should be based on ability, right? Not on race, obviously. So if you're
Yes,
weak,
exactly.
then you get into a special class and you get a special support for it.
Yes, but that isn't segregation. That is trying to bring kids up to speed on what, like, let's say, okay, I had a kid that went to my school. He was from Korea. He had to go to a special class so he could learn how to speak English. And I'm not going to lie here, it was hell for him because we were in middle school this time. But after going there, and they would also have classes after school that was absolutely voluntary. They parents had to get a little sign note. After a while, he learned how to speak English probably better than most people that went to the school. So that's what they need. Sometimes kids just need that extra help. They don't need to have like a whole separate school for somebody else. That right there sounds a little bit SJW to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it all depends. Because again, if one group is pushing their culture onto other people, like if the migrants are pushing their culture onto other people instead of assimilating, I could understand why they would want to have a different school, especially if the natives are far more advanced than the migrants.
Well, if I may here,
Based Mama is looking for the link.
it-
By the way, you wanted to invite her. Based Mama is looking for the link. Can you send her the?
Can you send her? I don't have a.
I don't have
can't
her
send
on Skype. I'm sorry. Does anybody else?
Yeah,
Based
right.
Mama?
Send it because I'm on mute right now. I can work it out with Base Mama and get the invite sent to her. Like, is it just a
Yeah,
case
do
of
that.
copying the link and sending it to her?
Yeah, do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll get it sorted.
Okay, but if I may, I would like to, I know this may get on a lot of people's probably bad sides here, but culture is supposed to form, it's supposed to change. Culture is supposed to adapt and do everything like that. And now, if it's harmful, see, like, now this is the whole thing. We want them to change their culture because we see things that are harmful. Now, if they want to bring some culture into ours that is non-harmful, I'm not, just saying Muslims here. I'm talking about anybody. Let's say there's a Jew and they want to bring some Jewish culture. Would we be more of a bigoted people, acting almost like the SJWs that we dislike if we was like, no, no,
But
or
what kind of
tried to have
what
an
kind of
understanding.
like would we have to change one of our things? You know what I mean? Like a big thing like would be trying to change what we do here because of their culture, aka like wearing a burqa, yet we have to take photos with our driver's license with our face on it. Like that's like if it's not blocking our culture or the way we do things, I think it's fine, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying
Yeah.
anything that is non-harmful. That's why I added that little bit in. Things that are non-harmful that they would like to spread to us. That are could actually in the long run be something great that could actually advance our culture itself.
Yeah. Or even just, I mean, allowing them to do what they do usually, obviously to a lit. That doesn't
exactly.
Well, that's like Canada. Like where I live, it's very multicultural, right? A lot of different types of churches and people. Like when I'm on the bus, it's like I'm one of like the only white people on the bus. I'm used to being in the minority now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and I don't like care. I mean, obviously, if you're gonna bring, the bad shit, like a big problem we had here was, Sikhs holding like their knives or their swords or whatever it is. And in Canada, you can only hold a blade that's like 2 inches long, and theirs were crazy fucking, super swords, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they banned that though. I'm pretty sure they banned that. They were like, no, you're not holding your knives around. Sorry.
Yeah, but that's all I'm trying to say is, not always what, because I know a lot of people, it comes with human nature itself. A lot of people do fear change. And sometimes, even if the change is something positive, they still will fear it. Now, if it's something negative they're trying to bring into the culture, no, fuck you. But if it's something positive that people are still like, well, I really, really, really just don't want to fucking do it, even though it may be positive in the long run. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about like people wearing women being forced to wear burqas and have
the argument.
male escorts. Even though in Memphis, Tennessee, I could not drive a car because I could have actually gotten pulled over for not having a man in front of the car waving his arms, warning oncoming cars and pedestrians that I was driving.
Wow.
That's actually still a real thing.
Well, it's a slippery slope though. That's what the argument is a slippery slope. When we allow one thing and then don't allow something else, and those people will bitch and et cetera, and it gets into this like where like Germany is, for example, right now, just letting everyone in, like what, like you're gonna let these guys in, and let these guys in, and let these guys in, and then so if we're letting in too much and not being strict about it, you know what I mean?
Oh yes. I fully understand that.
I think that's the whole problem right now in our society.
But it kind of sounds almost to me. Do you watch a whole bunch of historical documentaries or anything like that?
Not really. No, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I like to watch a lot of historical documentaries, and they were actually afraid to let the Irish in because of the Irish culture. They're afraid to let the Chinese in because of the Chinese culture. And it pretty much it's been going on for ages, and however we do adopt, and it's been proven that we do adopt over time the positives, anything that is positively affecting. And normally the negatives will actually, like over here, they don't kill, their little girls,
Yeah.
like they used to over there, especially back in that time. They were still killing. If they had a girl, they would kill the girl and try to have a boy.
Jesus. Yeah.
And but however, they were so afraid because they thought that, oh my God, they're just going to come over here and start killing babies. You know what I mean? But that didn't happen. See, I think it has something to do with that line. I think it does have something to do with just, it's good to monitor. It's really great to monitor. But it's sometimes I kind of relate it into that kind of a fear.
Yeah, but
like, the likelihood of it happening, especially if you monitor it well, it won't happen. Like they did when it came to the Chinese and the Japanese when killing their firstborn kids. Well,
Yeah.
firstborn girl children.
Well,
One
it's
child
just
rule, like you could only have one child, or you'd have.
It was in city one child, out city two children, and it's actually still in city. Now it's in city two children, out city three.
So you wanted somebody who was able to earn money rather than another mouse to feed.
Yes.
That was
Because a
thinking
woman was
behind
seen
it,
as
not
worthless property.
Yeah.
It also
And
led to a
all
lot of
all they were good for were just breeding. But however, females weren't seen as good for working the fields.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why the one child policy in China led to a sexual imbalance. There's just too
Now
many
they're
men.
saying have baby girls.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you see, but that was what they were really afraid of when they started coming up here. So you see how that went. So I kind of put it in that kind of a way. If you monitor it, make sure that things don't happen. Inform them there are laws about it. Enforce those laws. However, we did adopt, some of their culture. We have the Chinese New Year, which is one of their cultures that they brought over here that we see as positive.
Shit,
Yeah.
my little shithole of a country.
So am I making any sense here? Or am I just rambling?
No, you're making perfect sense.
You make perfect sense. It's just that people focus on the bad, like a person screaming Allah Akbar and then shooting up 49 gay people at some bar.
Yeah. In my home state, bastards.
Yeah.
Okay. In the current state I used to live in, we had a terrorist attack at a freaking base, and then my home state had a terrorist attack. I'm like, what the fuck is it following me? Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah. Culture is a fickle thing. In archaeology, culture is not what culture means in society, in social aspects. But there are some countries.
Because I think because I hate to go back in time with the Roman culture. You don't see us having sex with little boys and sending them off into the wild to fend for themselves for a week and then returning.
Exactly. That's the Greco-Roman culture. Yeah, but true. Yeah, no, not correcting you. Just saying yes. Actually agreeing with you. Portugal, this little country in Western Europe, which is so insignificant that many Americans think it's a province of Spain or something, has actually influenced a lot of cultures in the whole world.
Really?
Because
That's all my parents are from.
Yeah. There are a lot of Portuguese in North America.
Yeah, all the time, man. Yeah, there's some neighborhoods here in Toronto that are only Portuguese.
Yeah, my cousin lives. I don't know if she's in Toronto or what, but I have family in Newark, New Jersey, and in Canada. I don't know what city. So yeah, basically in Australia. That's where my main bulk of my family is.
Well, tons of immigrants, cause like the job market is horrific there in Portugal. It's really bad. Like I know construction workers make like what, €3 or €4 an hour only.
560 euros a month.
About yeah. So it's pretty rough. So they fly over here and try and make it here, you know.
Yeah, I know.
And actually, I think they do a pretty good job, to be honest with you.
What's that?
They're really hard workers, so that's why I believe they do hire a lot of Portuguese, right? Because of the hard work.
Oh yeah. But construction here, especially in Toronto, where I'm from, I can see it is a lot of Portuguese.
It's just like
I worked as like a maintenance worker for a bit at Bell, like one of the phone companies here. At one of their buildings, literally every employee in my department of maintenance workers was Portuguese.
Yeah,
like, all of them. I was like, holy shit.
It's interesting that they work hard outside of Portugal and they're fucking lazy cunts here.
Well, it's kind of the same thing where I live. There's a lot of Mexicans that work, people from Mexico, And that reason South America and all that come here, take it. They can say some words in English, but don't try to have a full-fledged conversation with them. I hate to say that because some of them actually do have a lot of trouble, and I understand that they come over here later in life, so they do have some trouble with English, and that's why they normally have on every job site like an interpreter. So in case there is any issues.
We Portuguese.
Yeah, but they work like a son of a bitch. I'm being serious. They I have never seen people work so hard. Like they
do.
are, they are incredible.
We've got a lot of.
Hey, dude, can you talk Portuguese?
Me?
Yeah. Are you Portuguese? Is that your background?
I am Portuguese. I was born in Portugal. I immigrated to Australia when I was 4.
Okay.
But I speak Portuguese, Spanish, English, Portuguese, Spanish, French, a little bit. Enough of German, which I'm beginning.
Yeah.
Italian. I also speak Italian.
I wasn't able to tell where your accent was from.
Yeah, it's Australian.
Cool. Yeah.
From Melbourne, the same city as Bering and a few other those cunts.
Yeah. I bet it's so funny hearing a freaking Australian accent with Portuguese. I bet that's freaking hilarious.
Oh, I can do WOG, when I was there at school, I used to talk like this. It was strong, really strong,
Shit, it's Gary Orsom.
It's a bit better than my normal trying to speak, because if I didn't speak WOG, they'd beat the shit out of me, right? But
your accent kind of reminds me of a Kraut tea.
Yes?
Oh, Kraut.
Yeah,
He's
you have like a Germany type.
Well, I'm from Germany originally, actually. Although I live in Ireland.
I can't do the German accent. The only accent I can do
well if you want.
is the South African accent. That's the only one I can do outside my Australian one. It's a very complex language, the South African accent.
Is it?
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like you were trying to go a little bit Jamaican on the end.
it is a little influenced by this. Sometimes I need to get a bit more drunk before I really get into the accents.
Yeah, let's not get into accents. Let's continue on with this.
That's because when you're drunk, they all sound spot on to you.
Yeah.
I can't do the Scottish accent. That's the only accent I can't do. But
I'll try South Africa. If you keep going with the Scottish, I'll try South African.
The South African. That's what I was trying to do, my friend.
I don't even know what that accent was. It's like a combination.
Well, I learned over my first try at a South African accent. The British people will know, which basically is Gogzy and me. A South African. No, he was what's his name? Tony Gregg, the cricketer. He lucky to meet a friend of mine. Well, how's it been, Jim? 6 months ago, Jim was injured in a very nasty accident. The way he talked, he was trying to eat and run, tripped in the cricket, the punch, and round up in here a virtual fuckwit. That's a joke, right? That's not supposedly seriously. That's from an album of comedy in the 80s. So I made a shit hole out of myself. So I apologize, people. I really apologize. It was terrible.
That's all good.
Anyway,
we forgive you.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna head now. Sorry, I'm feeling like really fucking tired and it's just a bad day for me to be on.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for.
Yeah, I know I didn't say much, but I've been just like all day. You know what I mean?
I know, man. I've been monitoring your illness. So
yeah.
He has a camera in your house. It mostly focuses on
Andy, before you go, unlike all your haters, I hope you get better soon, buddy.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. But let's talk soon for sure, eh?
Oh man, I want you to get better because I want to have you more on my streams. I know I'm small. This is how it is. Yeah, my streams are like this. They're so informal.
Yeah, no,
we've
that's
covered
great.
what I want to talk. Then we just talk shit until midnight, more or less midnight.
Nice.
So, man, it's an honor to have you on, and I thank you, man. I thank you. Humbly thank you.
Sounds good. We'll talk soon, all right?
Yeah, man. You have an open invite. I always say everyone who's on my channel has an open invite, which I send
Awesome.
their links. See you, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, all right,
And
peace,
recover
guys.
quickly.
All right, thank you. Everyone have a nice day.
You
All
too.
right.
Ciao, man.
Bye, man.
And Based Mama, you haven't said anything. Please enlighten us with your lovely
What do you want to
demeanor.
know?
I don't know. Just let's talk.
Oh, I was just picking up the kids from school, so we were driving, so I didn't want to have like all that chatter in the background. But
Oh,
everybody say, "Hey, Carlos."
Hey,
Carlos.
There you go.
Hello. Thank you.
All the base children.
Yes, as well.
Hey,
Oh,
Raven.
shit, I'm out of beer.
Hey, based mama, I'm following you on Minds.
Ah, okay. You're stalking me.
Mama, it's
Yeah.
good to talk to you again. It's been a while.
It has been. How you been doing, Rin?
I'm doing well. The last time we spoke was during your interview. I think we spoken for 5 hours straight.
We did. I'm really bad
Bye,
about
Mama.
that.
It's nice to officially meet you.
It's good to officially meet you too. Well, you're gonna have to
Hi,
yell, dude.
Hi, I'm Moka. Nice to meet you, Based Mama.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Just trying to find my
Eastern
cigarettes.
Tennessee or Western Tennessee?
No longer in Tennessee. I live in Missouri.
Said, okay. Now I used to live in Knoxville.
Oh, that's not too far from where I live. Well,
I
used to
hated
live.
it because
Yeah. Oh,
the
it's
sidewalks
horrible. It's
were
a
all
bad
orange
place.
and white.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's the worst thing like ever. I miss Florida so bad that I might move back one day.
Oh,
I
I
wanna
don't
go
do humidity. I have curly hair.
Oh, I have
Like
curly
you.
hair too. You should see me. I just straighten it when I'm there.
Sorry. Oh, and we just totally took over the stream with girl talk. Sorry.
Yes, Girl Talk
Sorry.
Hour. Change the title. Change the title. It's now Girl Talk Hour. Plus whatever you
Sorry.
just said.
I don't change the title, but absolutely, please continue.
Yeah, they were being boring. I was trying to liven it up, but you know how guys are. They gotta try to over talk
They're
you.
being boring.
Yeah, trying to over talk you, trying to mansplain over you.
Gets all
We were out.
super intellectual and people are trying to drink and stuff. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But where are we at now? Sorry, we were looking at an article when I started in on this, and I don't know how we got where we are now. But that's
I
part
went
of
on a rant.
Castello's stream.
And I went on a rant and I ruined everything. It's my fault.
Yeah, we covered basically the South Cal State University segregation, homing segregation for the black community, which is supposedly, according to the New York Times, a minority of what, 4%. And I said, okay. And we said that, we talked about that, and we also went on to Denmark, which is segregating the opposite way, because they're separating the non-migrants from the migrants. But
That actually makes a lot of sense. Like, I get that makes a lot of sense to me, because you're going to have a lot of language barrier, cultural barrier, confusion, stuff like that. You got to give these kids time to like adapt and adjust and figure out what the hell is going on before you drop them in. And I mean, my kids are half Mexican, so like their dad had a really hard time adjusting because they didn't have like a English as a second language program. It was like, get good at English, kid. And that was the ESL program. But he had a really hard time, and they instituted a class for your first year here. You have one school year to learn English functionally, and you have to pass a functional literacy test. And if you don't pass it, they don't let you in school. So you have to be able to communicate with people, which is good because it puts you, on a track to actually learn it in a rapid succession. Use the Berlitz program. Huh?
I feel bad for the mutes. Sorry.
Sorry for the what?
I feel sorry for the mutes.
Can't talk.
Why?
Because they can't communicate.
We don't wear green.
They got ASL. They're cool.
That was
I'm telling you right now,
mean,
man. You
Moka.
meet up with a
I'm
mute or a deaf
sorry.
person, the first thing they're gonna teach
No, don't
you
apologize. It was
all
funny.
the swears
Um,
because they think it's hilarious. I'll teach you how to say "fucktard" in ASL. Hey, man, I know people. Anyway, but
I'm a son of an immigrant. I immigrated to Australia. I was 4 years old. I landed there before my fifth anniversary. So I went straight to primary school. I don't know how the fuck I learned English, honestly. We only spoke Portuguese. And I still try to think, how the fuck did I learn English?
your brother.
I'm blaming the Illuminati personally, but I don't know.
Except that
Hang on.
good enough explanation, yeah. Why
Was
not?
there any English TV on when you were a kid?
Australia, yeah, of course.
So I mean, you're,
Right,
you're
that's it.
going to subconsciously pick up the language for that.
I don't know, honestly. I was shit. I've tried consciously to go back, but no.
How old were you?
5.
Yeah, you're going to
You just
subconsciously
in the
pick up
woods,
a
even
lot
the
of stuff at
bears.
that
I
age.
heard talk English there.
Well, 5-year-olds are like a sponge. So.
Mhm.
Yes, they are. So, but yeah, but I spent a year in France and I didn't learn French.
How old were you when you went to France?
4.
That's why 4-year-olds are dumb.
Yes,
That's the boys.
excellent.
I remember
Perfect.
learning French in
Thank
school.
you,
And I
thank
think
you,
the only
Moka.
thing I can
Perfect.
do now is ask how to
Well,
find a
well,
swimming pool.
what I mean by
Still
that
there?
is, I'm not saying they're dumb. What I'm saying is, normally they really don't start, and this is just my own personal view. They really don't really start learning until about 5. That's when I notice all my, cousins stuff actually start picking stuff up a lot easier is at 5. I don't know
My
why,
kids do that, yeah. Children did that, yeah. I saw exactly the pattern. Up until up until 5, they weren't very inquisitive. Up to then when they're when they were 5, they started asking questions. Dad, what's this? Dad, what's that? Dad, what's that? And I'd explain, yeah.
Well, it
Why is the
probably has to
sky
do with
blue?
their
'Cause God made
mobility and ability to explore, though, right?
Up until 5, they'd cry, I want that, and
You're lucky to
they
get
trained
that
their
out of them. They just might go just, ah!
No, they could speak on that, but
Well, they
it's
may speak, but some kids, they don't want to. They just scream.
yeah.
I've been into Walmart.
From 2 to 4 years old, kids actually try to train their parents. That's why all the spats and the crying and the demands and all that shit. If you give in to them, you're fucked. I didn't give in to them.
Are you taking notes, Space Mama?
I got 6 kids.
Terrible for
I'll
that.
need notes. I'll write you some notes. How's that?
Exactly.
You know why everybody likes my kids? Because I raise them right in there and a bunch of assholes.
That's always
Okay, well they are, but like in the good way, not the asshole
okay.
kid way.
Okay, good.
Yeah, what's up?
Do they scream when they go into Walmart when you say no?
Oh no, no.
Shit.
They are way
right
too
then.
afraid of me to do that.
Going
And
You
into
did it
our
right then.
Can they hear us
Young-
now? Can they hear the hangout?
What?
Can the kids hear the hangout if you're in
No.
the... Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, I have to use the earbuds, otherwise you'll get like a consistent echo.
It'd be so
But
funny.
they will just randomly yell into the mic if somebody they know is on the hangout.
Well, they don't know me much yet, but I'm confident.
You have a nice voice and you're smart. My 10-year-olds are watching your your archaeology videos about Neanderthals.
Oh, thank you.
And he's like, that's
Ooh,
so awesome. I'm like, good.
I love
Expand your mind.
Neanderthals.
Learn some shit. Good.
I'm still working on my 3rd one. It's getting a bit... And it's going to be shit. I can imagine it's going to be shit. Because if I work too much on it, it gets crappy. I might... I have half of it written down. I might just trash that and start again. And that's what I think I'll do this week.
That's why it takes you so long to put out a video, because you write 15 scripts for a 10-minute video.
I do, and I record my voice reading the scripts about 20 to 30 times before I even start editing it.
Cool. It's
See,
dedication.
people don't understand. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I'm done.
I'm sorry. I was gonna say, people don't understand. Like 6-7 hours goes into like a 5-minute video.
Oh yeah.
It's so true.
It's not. Yeah. It's you're
if
not
it's
just sitting there
music-
recording shit.
If it's music, if it's a 5 minutes 5 minutes piece of music where you play all the instruments and mix it and vocals, then it's a week of work.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not musically inclined, so I mostly just try to not screw it up, because I also don't know how to edit. So I just try to read what I've written.
I could.
We don't know how much editing goes into a video, especially the longer the video is. Like, if a video is like 30 minutes long, it could be like a week's worth of editing for a 30-minute video.
Yeah.
Plus all the research you do and all the reading of crap you don't really want to read, but you have to because it's what you're commenting on. And you take a lot of Excedrin and drink a lot because you have to read that shit.
For me, it's because I don't feel comfortable reading off a script and editing. I could do what I want to do in a hangout in half an hour, explain everything I want. I have it all in my head, and then just put in the links at the bottom in the description. It's basically what I'm going to do on my next video is the third species that they've discovered of hominids, our ancestors, which is the Denisovians. They are like the Neanderthals, except they're from the east. And there's also another one which is a mystery. It's in the genetic material of about a third of humanity, at least Eurasia, and they haven't found any indication of who he is.
Well, I just need to ask you one question. Will we ever find King Tut's wife, sister wife?
I can't answer that. I'm not.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I can't answer
Who
that.
will or who has?
No, when will we ever find his wife? Because she's missing.
Oh.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Egyptology. I monitor. I like Egyptology and that period of the Bronze Age, but I prefer pre-agriculture. It's just awesome.
Darn it, because I really would like to get like some. I'll try to find somebody that may know something about it, because like what's happened to her is like such a mystery that I would love to get like a little bit, even though it's still a mystery, I would love to get like just chat about it with somebody, because she wasn't in her tomb.
Oh no, they're 90% of Egyptian monarchs are not in their tombs. They're discovering some every day, especially
Except for her. God darn it.
They were all
They'll
moved.
find her. They'll find her. I'm sure they'll find her if she hasn't been disturbed in any way by the tomb robbers immediately after she was buried. They could find her.
They were all, excuse me, sorry. They were all moved because of the tomb robbers. The high priests moved them all to a secure place, and then apparently the same high priests robbed all the gold off of the bodies.
But you can still find the bodies. I'm more interested in that because that tells me a lot. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just such a
true
mystery.
History, he just wants the bodies. He just wants to see what's going on there.
No, I can. Well, I'm not I know enough of biology to not be. But me is more the actual artifacts, what we left behind. I love that part.
Have you seen anything about the bog people?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bog people are Bronze Age, Stone, Iron Age, sacrificial victims. Yeah.
Well,
it's a culture.
Some sacrificial.
Most.
Well, yeah, like I said.
Most of them were found with their heads caved in, if I remember rightly.
But some of them were found completely untouched. So it's just so interesting to me why they were untouched.
You can still kill someone untouched. You can drown them.
I know, but
That's true.
yeah, but I just thought it was very interesting about them as well.
I like that they were mummified by natural tannins in the water.
Yeah.
Hmm
That's so
in the
cool.
bogs, yeah.
There's some of the best mummies in the world are those peat bog mummies. They're the most defined and well kept.
Bog trotter.
Gogzy from the Italian-Swiss border. No, it's Italian-Austrian border. The Bronze Age frozen guy.
hmm
Yeah, he was assassinated.
Mhm.
Yeah, he got 3 arrows two arrows. He died. He didn't die because of the arrow wounds. He died because he fell in a crevice. He was a tough cunt, that guy.
Yeah, it's like you ain't gonna fucking take me down. Ah!
Prehistoric
He-
Rasputin.
and they found out what he ate and everything. Even what he not what he drank, but what he ate. He had a lot of rye, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what killed him. The
Oh,
rye.
Sorry.
It was the rye that killed him.
You can have it.
Rye. If there's
The cat general.
interesting about rye. We grew rye here in my area, and rye bread is one of our staples. Beautiful bread. I love that bread. It can be eaten 6 months after it was baked. You fry it in dripping, and it's fucking delicious. And in the Middle Ages, this is something just trivia. There was a fungus that grew on the rye plants, and if it got into the
ergot.
bread, exactly, you know about it. I don't have to tell you.
Oh yeah, I've had that problem. It's not a fun problem to have.
No, it's like eating shrooms. You hallucinate and all that shit. It can be deadly, and that's probably
you do. It's very scary. Like, especially because you don't know what the hell's going on. You just start like seeing trails and ants and just shit that's not supposed to be there. So you're like, oh crap. But yeah, it's weird. That's as close as I've gotten to like illicit drugs. So is accidentally poisoning myself with rye.
But eating old rye bread, is it based, Mama?
I got some rye bread from an Amish bakery, and it had been really, really wet that year, so the rye had molded, and I didn't know that. And I just, I wasn't going to be rude and be like, no, but I don't really like rye bread. I had some and spent the next 3 days trying to figure out what the hell was going on because it stays in your system for a long time. Like it's, from what I understand, if you do shrooms or LSD or something, it doesn't last all that long. But
it depends on the shrooms.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. But with the ergot,
I was a bad kid growing up, so.
Oh.
You tried it.
Well, if you do shrooms, are you just poisoning yourself like with rotted rye? Is it like the same thing? I'm pretty sure it is.
I've never had rotted rye, but with shrooms, it all depends. Like, I was tricked, to be perfectly honest. I was tricked shrooms. But anyways, it really all depends on the shroom itself. Like, there's multiple
I know a
different
lot of
types
people have said that they barf a ton. So I'm like, why would you want to do that?
Like, if you get it from the cow patties, yeah, you're gonna barf. But if it's not from the cow,
digging through cow shit to get hot, like no.
You don't have to dig through; they grow right on top. So if you live near a cow farm, not saying don't do it, kids.
I grew up on a farm. Nope. Just.
So did I. So.
I don't ever want to be that close to cow shit again.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's horrible. But hey, if you light it on fire, it's kind of cool. But it's pretty much I've never had it, but I hear it's somehow comparable to it. But like I said, it all depends on some shrooms. Some shrooms will last in your system for like 2 days. So it depends on the strain and where it's from.
But I think, wasn't ergot used like on purpose, like ritually with various Celtic magics?
Oh, I have no clue, no idea. Is my voice too high or too low, people?
Oh, you're fine.
You're fine.
Oh, now it's fine.
We're just obnoxiously chatting over top of you because you're too polite.
Is that
to
any
just
better,
bust
guys?
in.
Is my microphone coming
No,
through better now?
I on my streams, I purposely let you guys speak.
Is that so you can drink in peace?
No. I've only had 2 beers and a shot, so it's not. I'm still totally sober. God.
Oh, and if I may, Gogzy, if I said that correct, I hope I did. Would you mind speaking just for a second, just to see if your mic is right?
Hello. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's a lot
Much.
better.
I've turned it up. My microphone volume was set at 0. Sorry, I'm a total Luddite.
It's perfectly fine.
You can keep talking anyway. The ladies love it.
Yeah.
Sound like a
I'll
cross
leave
between
the ladies to
Edinburgh
talk.
and
I'm
Glasgow.
I don't want to.
Like
I don't want to
north?
mansplain over any ladies in the room.
Just keep talking. You're
Yeah.
fine, sweetie. Don't worry about it.
Meme Headroom just said my voice is too Australian. Make it more Portuguese. I can't do that.
Not unless
We
you
demand
yell in
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
Even when I speak Portuguese, I can't get the Portuguese accent right because I've never learned Portuguese officially. I did it at home, and I have this shit accent.
That's
People
funny.
think I speak. The visitors at my museum think I speak Spanish, and I said no.
I was going to say that. Isn't Portuguese quite close to Spanish?
Absolutely not. Mira. Ya voy hablando un poco de castellano en este momento.
Closer to Castilian.
Es una manera una fala muy característica. Now, a maneira como eu falo português é muito diferente. I hope you caught the difference.
I did. Yeah.
I totally didn't. No,
I speak Spanish, so I did.
The Spanish, yeah, but the Portuguese, oh God, I can't do it. I apologize. I can't.
I'm just going to call Portuguese the knockoff Mexicans, all right?
Well, Galician, which is my northern neighbors of Spain, and where I am from now here, we were Celtic, the Celtic Iberians.
So you're knockoff Spaniards. Okay, got it. Right.
No, the Spanish.
We're slowly figuring Portugal out, everyone.
Portugal has olives and browns and whites. I live in the white part.
Racist.
He's racist, yep.
I said
I
there are
thought you
no
were
races.
talking about food to start off with the first two.
There are no races. I've already explained that before. Even in my video archaeology.
Ethnicist.
Ethnicist. I'll accept that, yeah. Oh, Malaka. They said it's all Greek to me. I can swear in Greek, so.
That's most important.
Malaka.
Language.
Malaka. Pusti, Vlaka. Pupas. That's not swearing. That's saying where you're from.
I know Scheisse.
Scheizerhausen.
Scheisserhausen.
I'm like, yep, okay.
I only know one line, but I don't know what it's fully translated as, because anytime I ask anyone who speaks Spanish, they always go, I don't think that's from my part. So
Say it. I'll translate it.
A little puto tu madre.
Slower.
It's hard. So, e puto te caro tu madre.
E puto de care
Madre.
mare.
Your mother's a cunt.
No, I think it's
From the sea.
That was just a guess. I know absolutely no Spanish.
Mare is sea.
Yeah.
Even in any Spanish, puto, care.
It's probably Italian.
Oh, we're all sitting here trying to figure it out.
It was said by John Leguizamo when he was insulting someone. He's like, puto te caro tu madre.
Ask the chat. Chat, you know.
Translate for Mocha, because I love saying it to some people from Mexico when they piss me off and they're like, oh! So I don't know if it's actually offensive, but I say it anyways. When they
It
say,
depends. Yeah, if you slowed it down a little bit. But remember, he is not Mexican. He is Puerto Rican. And they have their own thing that they do.
Yes, probably.
mm-hmm. But it's still
Well,
funny.
like,
Either way, the reactions are still funny. They're like, oh!
well, like your accent sounds like you're speaking Spanish with an Italian accent. Like, what?
I'm American. Gosh.
I'm sorry, like, what? That's why I was like, well, Spanish and Italian are basically the same.
No, they're different. They're very different.
Exactly.
See, you say that.
My cousin is married to an Italian, and I can try. And they went to Italy, and Australian. He lived in Australia. He's in Australia. He's in Australia. He works, and they went to Italy for 2 weeks. And Italy, Italian is not one language.
No.
You go from the south to the north,
no,
and you cannot understand.
God damn it! Sorry, fucking dog's going crazy. There's
like
a cat.
Dog.
Yeah. I know the what you can say the BBC Italian.
What else have you got in your car? You got the kids, you got the dog, and the cat. Anything else?
I was gonna say that.
It almost seems like Japanese because in Japan they have like the Tokyo dialect, but they also have the Kansai dialect. You know, Kansai Ben, and it's like one. It's like arigato. That's thank you. But in like the Kansai Ben, it's like okini. You know, and it's kind of like or in Tokyo dialect it would be hontoni, but in like in Kansai Ben, it would be honma. That's really nice.
And then there's ni hao. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's Mandarin. I know five words in
I
Mandarin
know
I've been
it's funny to
taught.
say it to a Japanese person. My ex-girlfriend was Japanese, and she was from Japan, and I used to do it like, ni hao, and she's like, ugh. Every single time, so. You'll get the best reactions ever, promise you.
Tempura and origato.
Como arigato, Mr. Roberto.
See, we were. I hate my country. Sometimes I hate my people, the Portuguese people. Do you know why I hate them? We're every fucking place on earth. We're like Ebola, a disease, or something, or the flu. Honestly.
Yeah, but like nobody notices the Portuguese, so that's like a good thing. I mean, you're not making trouble.
We adapt. We are the most adaptive country, I think.
They are the
There's
community.
a hell of a lot of Portuguese in Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
I was really
there are,
surprised. Well, because the fishermen, but I was like, God dang. I got some hairy ass ladies, let me tell you.
The east coast of America, a hell of a lot of communities there, from the Rhode Islands up down to Boston, Massachusetts, and even further down a bit. Yeah, but I know that of this because whenever there's a disaster, you see a victim or something that a Portuguese person was there, and I said, Upper Mongolia, a Portuguese person was involved in was there for a earthquake or something, and I said, what the fuck was he doing there? Why the fuck go to Outer Mongolia or Burkina Faso or shit anywhere?
Maybe you're just nomadic people, man.
Oh yeah, we are. That's we are. Yes.
Just run with it.
Small country. Oh, I hate them, but I love them. You see the love-hate relationship I'm trying to convey?
It's full of archaeologists, and they go places like Mongolia.
No, they're not. Actually, no. I'm probably no.
The only one is.
They go there to get rich. Those cunts.
Okay.
So,
you know the best people like that have the most. Have you ever seen a Samoan?
Yes, I have.
They are awesome. I like one of my friends that I went to high school with was a Samoan, and he would do the war cry, which was fucking
haka. Not actually a Samoan, but a Polynesian, a Maori. The cunts beat me there a couple of times until I got really angry and just I broke his nose. Oh, I don't know how. He was bigger than me, but I broke his nose. And
Oh,
we
they
were
are
friends
big
after.
people. I swear that's just genetic. They are very
They are.
large. And he was trying to lose weight, and I'm like, dude, you're Samoan. And he's like, so? I'm like, look at your
They are.
mother, look at your father, look at your brothers, look at your sisters. It's genetic. And he's like,
They are
so?
beautiful, awesome people. Yeah.
Oh, they are. And their food, out of this world.
Yes.
When they cook
Absolutely.
traditional food, what they did when I went over there, they dug a pit. And they put a whole pig in there, and they put it on some nice warm ashes, and they covered it with like some leaves and stuff like that. And then they put like their fruits and vegetables on top, and then they're like, all right, now we wait. And I'm like, how long are we waiting for? Tomorrow.
Couple of hours. Yeah.
No,
Or a couple of hours.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm hungry now. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we have other food. That's for tomorrow morning.
You were treated to the most epic thing that I've also been treated to. Yes, you are. Oh,
Sounds awesome.
yes,
It's
yes,
so
it is.
freaking good. Oh my god.
Yes, yes. There's no
so
words to
tender.
this place.
You can cut the
melts.
meat with a spoon.
It melts in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
No cooking, the best.
Yep.
And it was so awesome. And like everything she made was traditional and stuff like that. And she's like, eat. That's all she said was eat.
That's what you did.
The taro root.
That
awesome.
is
But in
how
their
you
tradition-
relieve racial tension right there.
You-
Just have everybody sit down and eat. Because then they're
Well,
not
the
going
thing
to give a
is,
shit, and they're just going to eat.
Yeah, but in the Samoan culture, you cannot eat until every woman is at the table.
Cool.
Which
Are
was
they matriarchal
very,
culture?
I don't really know, but it's just an honor in the house that if any woman is out, you dishonor your entire house.
Oh, no, I'm
So-
asking because, in Western etiquette, nobody sits and eats until the lady of the house has sat and started to eat.
Mm.
It's just kind
Well-
of like, is it their thing, or is it an adaptation of like a Western influence? That's what I'm asking.
Well,
Makes sense. I mean, if
How
you,
is
if
that
you-
even possible when the lady's in the kitchen cooking?
exactly, then you probably want to taste it as well. You can't eat
Surely
it.
they're the last to eat.
Well, I'm a mom, so I just eat whatever the kids didn't eat.
I'm just going with personal experience. My wife's always the last to sit down to eat. She's by the time she's made food for everybody, she's the last to eat all the time. It might have been in the olden days where ladies sat down to eat first, but I would say that a housewife's usually too stressed to eat and they just grab something on the go.
Well, I mean, you might set yourself a plate, but you don't actually like sit there and eat it.
but I'm being serious. This woman, she had so many kids. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, it was amazing. Like, I bet she had like a voucher at the freaking clinic. She was just like, yep, I'm here again. Because she had, and when I met her, and I believe she's had more kids after this. She had like 8 kids already, and I believe she's had more. This woman is a kid making machine.
I bet she barely even has to push anymore.
Yeah, it's just
Get
get the catcher's mitt.
to catch it.
But yeah,
That's not like where I live. The average family size is 9 kids.
Wow.
So like, I'm like, I'm sure other people are like, holy shit, that's a lot of kids. And I'm like, how old is she? About 35? Because how many kids you have here by the time you're my age. Like, I'm a slacker being pregnant with my 6th kid at 35. They're just like, did you not marry young? Fuck you.
I've got 2 and I'm done with 2. 2's fine for me.
Guess how
I'm
many I
telling you,
have?
after 3, it's just more noise. Like, that's it. There's like no difference in the functionality or routine of your household.
Slightly
Just more
bigger
noise.
portion sizes that you need to cook.
Yeah,
I'm
basically
an
it.
only child, and I swore to myself that my kids would not be the only child, so I have 2 as well. A daughter and a son.
For me, I always wanted to have at least one of each, and well, I wanted a boy and a girl, and I was really lucky that the first two that we had was a boy and a girl, so we decided to stop there. But if it had been 2 girls or 2 boys, we probably would have tried again. I wanted one each.
Going
I
in
wouldn't.
7 girls.
Collection.
7 girls.
Like my
collection.
sister,
I
she's
must
got
have
5
them all. It's
boys
like a
trying to have a
Pokemon.
girl.
We call in Bavaria a tin maker. Somebody who only gets girls. Tin maker.
Yeah.
Picks them up. I have
Yeah,
2 girls.
but I haven't had any children yet. I'm waiting until a lot later in my life to have any kids.
I don't have any kids at all. Like no kids for me.
It's like,
Well,
I'm great,
I want at
thanks.
least a little boy. Like that's what I've always wanted, is just a little boy. But you know, I might have a
Same
little girl.
here. Like same here. I've always wanted a little boy. Like I even thought of his name, Alexander. I've always loved the name Alexander for some reason. Probably because
Alexander the Great.
yes, Alexander the Great, like I've heard of Alexander the Great when I was in 5th grade, and just like, man, Alexander is such a great name. I would name my kid that someday, and all that. But when I looked up the meaning of Alexander, it means defender of the people.
Oh, that's a wonderful name.
Yep.
But
See, I
I've
always liked
always
Marcus
wanted,
Aurelius, but I never met anybody named Marcus that wasn't gay.
mhm.
So, and I mean like super duper Nelly gay. So it kind of put me off that. Plus, I
Yeah.
don't tell anybody my names because I got a lot of sisters and they'll just steal that shit. Oh, that's a good name. And then they have the baby first. I'm like, damn it. So I just keep it to myself. He's just
Yeah,
baby shit lord. That's it.
I got overruled when it came to choosing the baby names. I went out there with my choices, and she wouldn't let me. I was gonna call my first kid Hoyt and my second kid Tarantino Macbeth, but I didn't get to choose either.
Hey man, at least
if
you
I
have
ever
no friend
have-
Zappa.
Tarantino Macbeth is the name of somebody that goes on to be famous.
Mhm.
There's a lot in a name, and Tarantino Macbeth, that sounds like a famous name.
Mhm.
Oh, but that's
That is
torture
the
to the
worst
kid.
name ever. Why would you do that?
I liked it.
I understand the Macbeth. That's a nice name.
Mhm.
Vitari, mate.
Tarantino, doesn't that mean tarantula? It's
Pass.
tarantella.
Yeah, if
Oh,
I
really?
ever have a son, I would really love for him to be named Stefan.
That's a nice name, yeah.
Mhm.
It's an old family name of ours that hasn't been used in generations. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a Stefan. If I don't have a Stefan,
God,
have
I
to go
can't
with the
say the
other-
name.
I have to go with another family name if it's a little girl, and that is Annabelle, which is another family name that's hasn't been used in a long time.
You mean like the possessed baby doll?
Or Isabel. That's another one that has been used.
That is. Both are beautiful names, though.
Gorgeous. And
I have a cousin, but I won't say the name here. After I'll say it after.
Okay.
Because they might hear, and I don't want to. My opinions will be later on.
Yeah, but it seems like all the names in my family are boring. We all have boring names.
Classic names. I don't call
Yeah,
any of my
but
kids by their names anyway.
most names they all end with the same, like with each sect of the family, they'll all end the same. Like you have like an O at the end or an E.
My family's
What's
from
up?
Scotland. Like everybody's
buff?
name is Mary. Mary Margaret, Mary Beth, Mary Jane, Mary Elizabeth.
Hey,
That's
Mary
Irish.
Jane, man.
I've got like 40 Aunt Marys. Don't know who any of them are. Can't tell them apart because they're all Mary something and they all go by Mary.
Mm.
Like, thanks.
Actually, I think my family's the only sect that has no rhyming names. Like none of us rhyme. Yeah, literally, it's rhyming names for all the girls in the family, but we don't. So, I was so happy about that. I'm like, yay! We're not part of them. The weird ones.
Everybody's got freaks in their family.
Yeah, but most of my in-laws are outlaws.
I didn't know that was those.
Most of my in-laws are mental.
Or they're military. One of the two. They're either outlaws or military, or they're the ones arresting their folks. One of the two. One of the three.
Shit, I have a boring family. Oh God.
Yeah. You know, y'all need to all catch up.
No, I really admire you guys. Damn.
I've got a pretty messed up family. I've got my stepmom and my real dad, and then my real mum and my stepdad were all best friends and hung about together, and it was really, really strange.
That would be weird.
Yeah, it was a very, very bizarre living arrangement. It was quite strange growing up.
But was it friendly?
It was yeah. They lived in separate houses and that, but it was everybody was friendly. It had its plus points. There was no animosity between like my mum and my dad, and my mum and my dad's boyfriends and girlfriends, if you know what I mean. There was no real big arguments, and I wasn't put in the middle of any fights. But it was quite bizarre. Like if I was introducing my friends, if I brought my friend home, and my mum would be sitting with my mum, or my dad would be sitting with my dad and my mum, so I'd have to go, this is my mum, and this is my dad. And it would be really, really... then I'd have to go into the whole, right, it's a thing, I'm going to have to explain it to you later, and...
It's a thing.
Yeah, I've had that situation before. You know, it's not that weird to you, but you realize how weird it is to other people.
Yeah, to me it was just home. But looking back on it, it was a pretty messed up situation. It was quite... I can imagine that some of my friends must have left and thinking, well, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but it was
I
actually
reckon that's
pretty funny
quite cool.
when I first introduced... Okay, this was funny. I had a fiance at one time, believe it or not. And I introduced him to my family. I'm like, okay, this is my grandmother, this is my grandmother, this is my grandmother, this is my grandfather, and this is my grandfather, this is my mom, and I'd never had a second mom. And this is my dad, and this is my dad. Oh, and this is my cousin, and this is my other cousin, and this is my other cousin, and this is my other cousin. Have fun. And normally I just leave. Because it was just so hilarious. The first time, he's like, well, hello, everyone. He just had daggers staring at him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he proposed to me, and I said yes. Oh, daggers got even sharper, and they're like, so. I just left the room. I'm like, nope, I ain't helping you. This is all you. Explain yourself.
If he walks out of that one, then he's a keeper. I mean, if he comes out of that in one, he's done really well, so you marry him instantly.
Oh, it was so funny. It was hilarious because my grandma said, so, you ever heard her? You're gonna wake up in the basement covered in lye. And he left. He's like, sorry, I didn't mean to propose to her. I'm gonna leave. It was the funniest shit ever. And I'm like, if you can't handle a threat like that from almost an 80-year-old woman, fuck you.
Your grandma had wisdom, yes.
Do you a favor.
Yeah. She had
Pardon?
wisdom. Grandma had wisdom
Oh,
for
yes.
putting that scenario into him. Yeah, like you said, if he couldn't handle that, shit, no.
Yeah, but the thing is, my grandmother actually has a chili that no matter how much you eat, you will fall asleep.
Cool.
And that's what she said. It was really funny. The full line was, "Don't make my special chili." And she just raised her eyebrows, and she's like, "And you better never hurt her, or you're gonna wake up in the basement covered in lye." And he's like, "I'm late. Goodbye. I am so sorry for disturbing you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna walk home." And then I walked back in, and I'm like, "Where'd he go?" And they're like, "Oh, he left. Engagement's off." I was like, "Damn, that was quick."
Oh,
If you can't pass the trial of my family, you're not worthy of me. Sorry.
yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I... If they
Yeah,
can't pass my test, they're not worthy of my kids.
But it was actually so funny because my first boyfriend, I brought him. He came over. You know, it was hilarious. My first actual boyfriend, and he was going to take me out to the drive-in movies. And my grandfather walked out with a shotgun and said, Take her to the movies? I'll drive.
Mm.
And he's like, I'm good, sir. Oh, it was beautiful.
I'm not allowed to have a shotgun over here in Scotland, but I've got a shovel. So I'm just going to show her the first boyfriend that she brings home is getting shown the shovel and shown the front garden, and just get to work it out.
You're like, hey, do you like which part of the garden do you like the most? Well, I think those flowers are cool. He's like, all right.
You'll fit under there.
But yeah, it's so funny when I bring anyone over to meet them. Like when I brought my friend over, he pretty much got the same spiel from my grandmother, and he's like, I want your granddaughter in no way like that, ma'am. I hope I did not insult you in any way, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm going to go over there and have a smoke. And she's like, you smoke? And he's like, no, ma'am, I do not smoke.
That is awesome.
Oh my grandma, okay, she may be 80, but she doesn't look 80. And she still has arms on her. Like, my grandma's pretty intimidating, to be perfectly honest. And I can understand why some guys would be intimidated by her, but also my grandfather still has guns on him.
Kudos for her. Yeah, kudos for her.
But
man.
she grew up a biker chick. So.
Oh yes, the best.
The gran that I've got left alive, she's about 80 as well. She's 79 years old. She's about 4'2" if you're lucky, and she's got one of the foulest mouths you'll ever see on an old woman. It cracks me up.
Well, my grandmother is 6'3".
She's the first 80-year-old woman I've heard saying the word cunt. It cracks me up, honestly.
Oh, you should hear my grandmother. Oh, God. That's all I can say. When she starts going, you step aside because something is about. Oh my God, no. But she's also 6'3", and she's extremely big. So I was like, nope.
We'll
good.
go on until 12:30 my time, so we still have 14 minutes left.
Woohoo!
Keep going. Yep, keep going.
But I
I'm
think the
just
most
watching
intimidating
chat,
in the
sorry.
family is my 4'1" cousin. She's the most intimidating in the entire family. She's a freaking chihuahua.
She
Which
bites.
is vicious.
Yeah, but they only bark. They don't do nothing, bro. Chihuahua.
Little noisemakers.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's a cracked out chihuahua. How's that?
Oh yeah, I'll accept it. Yeah, that's fine. That's better.
She's crazier than a $3 bill. But I love her to death. She's awesome.
I know that reference.
I thought it was as clear as a $3 bill.
Shit, I used to have a eccentric cousins. Well, uncle cousins, but
Uncle
not now.
cousins?
Yeah, they were
Do
my
you live in Alabama
mum's.
by any chance with uncle cousins?
No, this is what I mean. They were my cousins because they were my mum's cousin, so they're not my uncles. But I call them uncle because they were older than me and my mum even.
Yeah, I know. I'm not kidding, mate. I've got a few of the same situation.
Yeah. Even people which older people you in the village, you call them uncle or aunt, even though they're not related to you. It's a sign of reverence and respect. And here, I didn't do that to everyone. There are some members of my village which I treat them as uncle, and other ones which I talk to them as equals or not equals. I call them you instead of uncle, which is weird. Even though I have equal respect to them because. And then I have all the ones that I don't have respect to them, and I don't even see them in front of me. Fuck them. That's what I do. Yeah,
Like some old school shunning.
Yeah. If I hate someone, I don't see them at all. I totally wipe them out in my life. I don't see them. I don't give a shit about them. I'm a mean
So
cunt,
are you
sorry.
trying to say you segregate? Oh, brought it back to the original topic.
Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, what a segue. Brilliant. Well done.
Beautiful.
Bring it back around.
Seamless.
Awesome. Yes. I have nothing to. I can't rebut that. That's perfect.
Thank you. I try.
Of course you
So
do.
do we all agree that Martin Luther King would be turning in his grave right now? That black people are pushing for segregation less than 100 years, less than 60 years after he pushed for everybody to play together.
50 and a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. He would be. We'll wrap this up, and I hope we don't wrap it up in a depressing mode. But we'll just cover this. Yes, he would be spinning. He would be spinning so much he'd form diamonds around him.
It makes me absolutely furious. It's one of the topics that, I mean, it's actually the topic that got me into this chat, and I've never joined a chat before. This is the first time I've ever been on one. It makes me furious to see people fighting for segregation and to see the blatant racism on display against white people. It's accepted in pretty much it's mainstream media. It's accepted right up to the highest echelons of the White House in America. It's just disgusting. It's open season on white people, and it really irritates me.
I totally agree with you. I mean, segregation is stupid. It does sense. And well, I wish we could treat skin color the exact same way we treat hair color, or eye color.
So that means I can
Well,
die.
but then
get
you're
rid of it?
racist
Yes!
because you're colorblind and you're not
Sorry.
acknowledging their whatever lived experience bullshit. Like you can't just be like normal with people and just deal with the person in front of you like a fucking human being. No, like if you want to like operate in this crazy PC world, you have to like have this mental battle with yourself about how you're going to approach this person, even like as a greeting. It's all really weird. It's all very confusing. I just don't participate in it.
Well,
and as it turns out, most people don't.
Well, Miss Mama, I get along much better with you than I would ever get along with some crazy Black Lives Matter person.
That's because you're in
I
a
don't
room
think they
full of
really get
rational
along
people.
with anybody.
Well, that's because you're used to white-splaining. God.
To be honest, it's
Yes,
probably because you're in a room full of people that are not
internalized.
racist. We're not racist. We're not assholes. We're not trying to segregate people. None of us even care what colour your skin is, to be honest. And even that's a racist thing nowadays, which is just mental. The fact that if I said that I don't see colour is a microaggression. I mean, that is the epitome of how stupid society is becoming.
It's stupid.
Nice.
The chat suggested that we should look at the University of Chicago, who wrote a letter.
Oh my god, I love them.
Yep, top university.
They're
This is
so
what
like
university
top of
should
my
do.
list now. Like
Once
they're
you will discover
this
Boom.
I'll share Real Raven. Yes.
Yeah. Once
Yeah,
here, you will, dear class of 2020 students, welcome and congratulations on your acceptance to the college at the University of Chicago. Earning a place in our community of scholars is no small achievement. We're delighted that you selected Chicago to continue your intellectual journey. Once you're here, you will discover that one of the Universities of Chicago's defining characteristics is our commitment to freedom of inquiry and expression. Members of our community are encouraged to speak, write, listen, challenge, and learn without fear of censorship. Civility, let's just see, we can go. Civility and mutual respect are vital to all of us, and freedom of expression does not mean the freedom to harass or threaten others. You will find that we expect members to be engaged in rigorous debate, discussion, and even disagreement. At times, this may challenge you. Our commitment to academic freedom means that we do not support so-called trigger warnings. We do not cancel invited speakers because their topics might prove controversial, and we do not condone the creation of intellectual safe spaces where individuals can retreat from ideas and perspectives at odds with their own. It's nice, isn't it?
I think that's a pretty much like endorsement of Milo right there.
Yeah, I'll
Shit
say
would not happen
Milo
here.
as well.
It has to be said.
I mean, if you could put a set of sunglasses and a joint on that letter, it would be perfect, because that's like a boss. I mean, it's just perfect.
Yeah, this shit invites Milo. It'll be so cool. I will love that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like just with that letter, I'm like top of the list now. Because I'm tired of it. I don't want to put all that money. I mean, my daughter's going into thoracic medicine. That's like her thing. She wants to do it. She is terrified. Like, she's so scared of dealing with this shit and having it fuck up her education that she doesn't even want to go.
Don't
Like,
worry, she is
you
a child
asshole.
of
I'm
color.
so mad.
She's a child of color. She'll be fine.
I'm sure she would.
She would not have anything to do with these people.
Oh, I know. I was just saying.
I'm sure there is the increasingly number of universities that are pushing forward what the University of Chicago is, because they see it as money making.
Well, Mizzou lost how many students? 2,500 incoming freshmen from last year. They're closing down dorms. They can't afford to change the signs on their bathroom.
I think enrollments went down by something like 30% at Mizzou.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, they got the shit kicked out of them. And they still didn't learn their lesson. They're still sticking by it. Like, yeah, you're going to end up shut down and bankrupt pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
They won't, though. They won't. They're going to provide an echo chamber for the people that want to go there. There are going to be people that want to go to some place like Mizzou because they don't challenge your opinions the whole time, and that's going to suit them perfectly. Where, I mean, to me, if you want to go to some place like university to learn, you want to learn, and to learn, your opinions have to be challenged.
Well, yeah, but if they want that, the problem is that society as a whole is now aware of this shit and rebelling openly against it. They're not having it anymore. Parents don't want to send their kids to these places. They're looking into alternatives like I was, which is trade school, become a plumber, an electrician, a mechanic, anything but going there. Because when you put that kind of money down, you want the education you're paying for. You don't want indoctrination. You want education. And when you're about to put $250,000 into a kid and they're not going to come out of that educated and actually able to function, it seems like a shitty investment. So you're not going to do it. Mm-hmm. It's going to prolong, your time working, trying to save for your retirement so that you can afford the college and all this stuff. You're not going to do it. You're just done.
Exactly, because these colleges are crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure that you've heard of colleges where social justice is a requirements course, but not math. It's like you need to have 3 terms of social justice to graduate some colleges. I think it is the University of Massachusetts. I think that's the one. And it's like, this is fucking crazy. And it's like, who would want to send their kids to college just for the kids to end up like Trigglypuff? Get your hate switch out of this campus. I mean,
I wish my arms jiggle enough since I'm on cam, but they don't.
Maybe if you were.
I actually use Trigglypuffing as a verb. I'm proud of myself. It's a thing now. I got in this argument with this lady. Exactly. And she was the whole arms up, shouting pissed off. And I'm like, wow, you just totally Trigglypuffed the fuck out right now. She just stopped and looked at me. And I'm like, Google it.
That would make an excellent ringtone, that. Keep their hate speech off this campus.
Get your hate speech out of this campus. Get your hate speech out of this campus.
My ringtone is Tyler.
I will say something about Triggly. She did have some freaking huge knockers on her.
Oh God, no!
That was just her stomach pushed up a bit.
Exactly.
She had,
but I bet if she lost all the weight, she would be very flat-chested, though. I was doing a scale by scale. I do that with some people who are overweight. I'll just do a scale by scale and just almost size them up in a way, and I'll be all like, well, probably if they're about this size and stuff like that, they're probably going to be about a B cup, C cup tops if they actually lost all their weight.
Mm-hmm. I showed my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, the Trigglypuff video the first time I seen it, and it was the one, that the very pretty girl takes, and she pans out and you see her face and she sort of looks all confused. And she's looking over her shoulder, and I paused it at that point and I says, look, try to be her and not her.
Yeah. Just watch it.
If that's the only advice you ever take from me as a father, try to be her and not her.
Yeah.
Try to be the one on the right, not the one on the
left. Yeah, try to be the one on the right.
I strike deals with everyone that I meet. I'm like, as soon as I saw Trigglypuff, I said, kill me if I ever get that big. Because
We all said that
unfortunately,
because we're like, oh,
I
that's just
actually
bad.
do have a thyroid problem, and I hate when people say they have a thyroid problem because I doubt they even take medicine for it or try to lose weight or try to work out. You know what I mean?
It's just
But
a
I
bit-
actually do, and I try to manage my weight as good as I can. You know what I mean? But people say like, well, I just have a thyroid problem or I have an eating disorder, and I'm like, first off, don't say thyroid. Second off, eating disorders can be managed over time. I bet you're not even trying.
You
know what
look
I mean?
great.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, people.
That's
Shall we wrap this up?
certainly. If you
Nuke
want
the
to.
stream, nuke the stream.
Thank you for having me, guys. That was
Each
fun.
person has
488.
yeah.
Still don't know what it means, but
Each person
enjoying it.
has the last word. We'll start off alphabetically. I don't care. Who wants to go first?
I'll come in.
Alphabetically.
Thanks very much for having me. I really enjoyed jumping on the stream. Cheers very much.
No problems, man. Okay, Gogzy. I'll go now. Base Mama alphabetically.
Sub to me, because I'm trying to beat cognitive thought. It's the thing now. I just want to have more subs than him. Because fuck him. That's why.
Shit. Next.
Please watch all the interviews I've done in my channel, and it's like please subscribe, and also keep your history out of this campus. Sorry for saying that.
This is so retarded is so freaking funny. Sorry. Just had to drop that in there. That is, God, that's like gotta be like the best stream name ever, and it's so appropriate. Sorry.
Next.
I guess I'll go. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope you really enjoyed the stream. I hope I wasn't too obnoxious or whatever. I really do apologize if I was, and I know I talk a lot, so pardon me on that one. And I really enjoyed meeting everyone in the stream. Y'all are all beautiful, wonderful people. And I hope everyone in the chat has a wonderful day.
And Raven.
Yeah, thanks, Moka, for coming along after chatting with me on Skype, and thanks to all the new people that I could meet here. And I didn't really know very much about segregation, so thanks for having me.
Okay, and I end. Base Mama, thank you for coming on. Gogzy, anytime, mate. Moka, you never what you said. Please continue. You're awesome. But Rim, it's been a long time. We haven't talked, and it's awesome always. As always, everyone that comes on my chat has an open invitation. I might not send once, but I will definitely come back and send you again. And thank you all for being on my chat. Andy Warski, if you will read this last bit, thanks, man. It's an honor to have you on. My second big, basically big YouTuber which I've invited. Sargon was a couple of weeks ago. Now Andy, I'm honored they come on to my channel. So we are going to end this chat now.